Hey, what's up everybody? This is Ep.17, and my mouth tastes like barbecue potato chips. Yeah, and they're pretty good. It's 2:33 p.m. and I believe today is January 25th, 2015, and we're going to be starting Docks. Which is a pretty cool world. It's kind of like the sequel to Jolly Rogers Bay, except kind of like more industrial and cool. So there's gonna be like a lot of swimming, but yeah, it's cool. It's like it's super like relaxing and like pretty, even though there's like sharks and like death and stuff. So I thought that I wanted to talk about something special today, and I just recently, like maybe a week or so ago, I've been watching a bunch of Bikdip on a bus, as you might have known, and I watched all three of his Zelda Classic quests: Bikdip's Adventure, Mitch, and Bikdip's Adventure 2, which I heard a lot about. Bikdip's Adventure 2 and like how it was his biggest quest, and how long it took him to make. Like it took him like about 5 years to make, and I thought I would talk about it a little bit. It was a cool game. For the whole like beginning of the game, he was like trying to challenge himself by like getting nothing, and he got like none of the items. Well, he got like all the necessary items, but he made the game a lot harder for himself than it needed to be, and I don't know, I felt like that kind of affected the Let's Play a little bit. Like instead of him talking about like the game and like how much he enjoyed it, he was talking about like, oh, it's so hard. But I'm not trying to say it's a bad Let's Play. But yeah, it had some cool ideas for dungeons. Like I was watching it and I was getting into like, you know, what the idea for each dungeon was, because you know I was into like the game design aspect of it, and like this guy coming up with ideas for levels and like designing these places. And like the first level had an interesting mechanic. It was like you get one item and then do half of the dungeon, and then you get another item and you do the other half of the dungeon. By the way, I just got a star or something. Yeah. But it wasn't too visually interesting for me, I guess. It just seemed kind of like a normal Zelda dungeon, and nothing really stood out to me, and a few of the levels were like that, but then there were a bunch of other levels that were like really visually like cool. Like they were cool levels, I guess, in terms of exploration, but they were also really visually cool, and a good majority of the levels were actually like that. Like the second level was like this well level, and, you know, it was underground and it was like kind of dark, and it had like these cool puzzles with like ladders and stuff, and it had music from Donkey Kong Country 3. I like that level. I liked the fourth level, which was like the mountains. It was like, take a trip to the mountains. That's pretty. Yeah, I just mentioned that because he put that as the title for the video where he showed level 4, and he wanted it to be like a Homestar Runner reference. Which, by the way, I'm watching a bunch of Homestar Runner lately just because it's cool. But it's like, it's a pretty obscure reference. It's supposed to be like Marshy commercial for Fluffy Puff Marshmallows. Fluffy Puff Marshmallows. But the level was really cool looking. It was like an outdoors level. I guess it was sort of like city in the sky from Twilight Princess, but yeah. Or like Tal Tal Heights, maybe, from Link's Awakening, except that's not really a dungeon, that's just like part of the overworld. So I thought it was kind of cool how like it looked like it was part of the overworld, but it was really a dungeon. And then you got to then you got to like walk around in the clouds at the end. Yeah, it's cool. It's like super chill in the clouds. You get to like walk around, and it's like peaceful music, peaceful music. Sorry. And then there was like this 5th level, which was like this big purple maze. And I thought it was weird that you couldn't like use a map to help you figure out the maze. You just kind of had to wander around blindly, because like there was like a big map, like a big built-in map of the game, but like if you used it more than once, like the game would crash. And I guess that's just like a bug, but it seemed like it would be kind of inconvenient if you're trying to do like a maze level. So that actually ended up being a pretty interesting episode to watch, because Bikdip on a bus, the guy who was playing it, he just started singing this song from Homestar Runner. Oh, the cheat. Where are you going to? You know, that one about like the where are you going to, the cheat. And then there's the 6th level, which was like a glitchy level. I'm not trying to like give away like what all the levels are for anybody who hasn't watched it, but I just like talking about them. Like the 6th level was like this glitchy level, and it was like the projection of a computer, like you were like inside a computer, which I think is a pretty cool idea. The computer was also like called Big-headed. It was pretty funny, but it was like a reference to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, like deep thought. And I think that's pretty funny. It's like deep thought, big head. Like I'm having some pretty deep thoughts. Man. And then you have like this 7th level. It's called Dude, Where's My House? But it's spelled W-A-R-E, Where's My House? And it's like a joke because the level is like a warehouse. Yeah, I don't know. I thought more of the levels should have had like joke names like that, because the joke, when the level has like a joke name or a pun name, it's kind of entertaining. But I never really found out like what every single level was called. And then, yeah, that was cool. That had like another, that had another sort of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference, because like it was supposedly built by Darknut042, like 42, like the meaning of life, I guess, or the answer to the ultimate question. And it was like this series of computers where you read like what Darknut042 was thinking about. It was like a level with like a backstory, and like it's cool. Like some dungeons in the actual Legend of Zelda series have like backstories to them. You know, like not very detailed backstories to them, but I guess it always makes it more fun when there's a backstory, because it's like the story, and it's like getting into it, like you can write it down. And then there's the 8th level, which was one of my favorites to watch, even though it looked like really annoying. Like it was really annoying for him, because it was like so many enemies that he was like having a hard time defeating. But it's basically like these big like caves that you explore, and like he's going up and down ladders, and it's like instead of like an overhead dungeon, it plays like actually like a side-scrolling dungeon, which I thought was really cool. I also really liked the cave atmosphere, and it had like this song from Donkey Kong Country called "Life in the Mines," and I like that song. That's a very nice song. And then when he got to like the 9th level, that was like the part of the Let's Play that really started blowing my mind, because it was just like so crazy and so involved, and like you could tell that he spent like 5 times as much work on the final level than anything else in the game. And like especially when you watch like the final boss and the end credits, it's like there's this animated credit sequence, which, oh my gosh, is so mind-blowing. And it's like, and then you start thinking about like how much time he put into this Let's Play. And no, not the Let's Play, it's the game. And I think the game is actually the 6th. It's like, I think it's actually like tomorrow or something, the 6th anniversary of Bikdip's Adventure 2 being completed. So it's kind of funny how I'm talking about it today. But like it makes you like want to appreciate the game more when you see like how emotionally significant it was to him and Harrison. Those were the 2 creators of the game. So I just kind of wanted to know more about the game, because like I like watching the Let's Play. Oh yeah, I got like the last red coin and died at the same time, and then here's where I start giving myself a bunch of stupid achievements, like back then when I went through like the lava section and like bounced through all of it. It was like really cool. And then achievement, take damage to get further. 2 cents. Sorry, those are just dumb jokes to make the video a little bit more interesting, because I'm actually doing like the 2nd out of 3 Bowser levels. It's called Bowser in the Fire Sea, which like I guess that's what his submarine is for, going like under the sea of fire. I wonder what kind of fish are in a sea of fire. I also wonder like if a submarine for going underwater, if that is called a submarine, then if a submarine for going under fire would be called like a sub-Vulcan or a sub-Thermo or something dumb like that. I'm dumb. Anyway, yeah, watching the Let's Play was one experience, because it's basically him talking about the game and playing it, I guess. I don't know. But like, making a game is one thing, and then playing a game is another thing, and then watching somebody else play the game is a totally different thing. Just like writing a piece of music is one thing, playing the piece of music is another thing, and listening to the piece of music is a different thing completely, even though they all have elements in common. Oh no, I'm sorry for getting all like philosophical with you. But yeah, it's just like, it made me want to know like a little bit more about the game and like have more appreciation for it. And I think it's cool, like game design has always been something cool for me to think about, like designing a world of your own and giving it music. I'm staring out my bedroom window as I'm doing this rant. Yeah, fun times. What was I talking about? I'm gonna remember. Oh yeah, game design has always been an interesting topic for me, like making your own levels and giving them music, because it's like designing your own world out of your imagination. And like ever since like watching Mario 64 hacks or Earthbound hacks or something, like I mentioned a few of those, like I talked a bunch about like Super Mario 64 Star Road, which that was a really interesting game to watch. Yeah, it's just like game design is interesting to me, I guess. And that's why I like indie games, like and yet it moves, I guess. Which I hope I get to play that game on this channel sometime. But I don't think I'm ever going to be able to play any of those games, like those Zelda Classic quests, because I don't know if my computer will even run Zelda Classic, and they seem like they're insanely hard games. Like, I never got very far, like I didn't even beat level 3 of the original Legend of Zelda. I mean, I beat Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, but those are all like 3D Zelda games, and I don't know. I really don't know, man, because I'm planning on going back and replaying The Legend of Zelda for the NES soon. Well, not soon. In the future sometime. I died. And Bowser stomps on my face for fun. Oh yeah, I like this circle that you go into. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to plan on like watching the Bikdip's Adventure 2 speedrun, or like a different Let's Play of Bikdip's Adventure 2, just because I think it's kind of cool. I started watching like Bikdip on a Bus's Let's Play of Banjo-Tooie, because I played Banjo-Kazooie and seen, you know, some Let's Plays of it. I played Banjo-Kazooie a bunch actually. Like I spent like I played it in 2013. Like I spent like the last half of my 8th grade year, like right after I bought it, because I got Banjo-Kazooie Christmas 2012, and then I played it like, it took me like until like the last day of school, so like from January until June, to beat it. And part of that had to do with like problems with the battery. I'm not gonna get into that story. I can probably get into that when I do a Let's Play of Banjo-Kazooie, which I definitely will. But yeah, I've never seen like an actual complete Let's Play of Banjo-Tooie, and I've also never played Banjo-Tooie, so it's interesting for me. So it appears we've come to the end of our video. I hope this video has brightened your day, and I'll see you in the next one for more Mario 64 stuff. Bye, everybody!